I'd been sitting at the bar for 3 hours, or about 5 years, depending on how you looked at things.
Guys, I have to talk about this. This has been a major source of butthurt for me the last week. I am sure many of you already heard about this. There has been a video going around on the internet of a UK prison guard having sex with a prisoner. Now, I actually saw that clip before it even hit the major media outlets, but I didn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. I thought it was just some setup pretending to be real, recorded on a low quality camera on purpose. I thought they set up a shoot in some dump, pretending that it is real, The whole place looked like such a dump that I thought it was just a meme, like a fake prison setup. It basically looked too real to be actually real. I was still in the stage of cope and denial. I didn't want to believe it. I was coping, no, it is not like that. A prisoner living in those conditions can't be getting ass like that. Can't be getting more action than me from hot chicks like that. And on top of that, she seemed too trashy to be an actual prison guard. But I was coping. When it hit the news, it became clear. Turns out she got fired from her job. Now she's facing charges. The whole thing was real, after all. I am not gonna lie to you guys. The whole thing caused me a great deal of ass pain. When you look at the conditions they live in, that prison cell, absolute hellhole. And then I have seen what the dude looks like. I mean, he's easily sub 5. Like, it doesn't confirm to the BP. Okay, he has got height and light skin black, but face isn't it? Despite that, he was banging that prison guard in that hellhole. Despite that, he had a knocked up white girlfriend outside waiting for him, who's willing to be a single mother for him. Dude, like, you know what I'm saying? Who's waiting for you outside? Guys, what do you do when you see stuff like that don't conform to the BP in real life? And I don't say this in a normie way, I don't say it like, oh, it is happening all the time. Like, this is very rare. They are nowhere near as common as normies make it out to be, let alone actually be a norm like oofy doofy people claim. Oh dude, women are attracted to ugly goofballs. That's a pitiful cop. But guys, how do you feel when you see some rare instances which do happen at times? At times, yes, they do happen. Guys, exceptions will happen. There are people who survived jumping off Golden Gate Bridge. But like, how do you feel when you see news like this? Do you ask yourself, why not me? Because I do. The dude was a scum criminal, and yet he's getting that ass. He's tapping that kind of bitch. I gotta be honest here, man. It makes me feel some kind of way. Like, if it fits JBW, you could say, okay, there's JBW in play here. Or you could say, there's Beta Box Deluxe in play. Guys, this guy ain't no Beta Box Deluxe. He's broke. Do you know why he's in prison? He got 5 years, and do you know why? Because he tried to steal 80 grand. Like, yes, for $80,000, he's in prison for freaking 5 years. That is how rich he is. Guys, this is a W for masculinity and dark triad coppers. This is a W for you guys. Enjoy this one. Face above all team, which includes me, we take an L on this day. He has a face definitely sub 5. Come on, man, no way around it. He's sub 5 facially. I know some coppers in the comments are gonna be like, oh dude, he's a Tyron. You only say that because you know that he's the guy in that clip tapping that chick. If he came here, if he were to ask for a face rating in the mock community, if he came here and asked for a rating, everybody would tell him, oh dude, it is over. You need 87 surgeries. And she's actually hot too. And I say this as someone who doesn't really like too trashy women. He was banging her in that hellhole conditions. And guys, do not watch that clip. I mean, he's getting that kind of action. Meanwhile, I have been a law-abiding citizen my whole life, my entire life. I don't have a criminal record. Not even so much as a speeding ticket, guys. And I know what some of you are gonna say. Oh, that is why you are lonely rehab. You drive like my grandma. Women want risk takers. They don't want meek bitch boys following the rules. They want adventure. They want high-tea defiant men that have balls to deny authority. That is why you are lonely rehab. Guys, trust me, I wouldn't last. I wouldn't last living like that. I would go hit some pedestrian and spend the rest of my life in prison. It is the shit like this, guys, it is the shit like this that makes me rage. I know he looks tall and light skin black, both of which are considered attractive features, especially in the UK, but like, seeing these kind of stuff that doesn't conform to the BP always enrages me, I have to admit.
I was a little jealous, I have to admit.
Like, if this was a tall white dude, even if ugly, even if with a sub-5 face, you know, boning some ethnic chick, ethnic prisoner guard chick, you could say, okay, JBW. I wouldn't mind it that much if that was the case, because it somehow, you know, makes sense. Makes more sense because of the JBW, right? But how do you justify this? I mean, I get it. Tall, light skin with swag. Face isn't the be-all, end-all if you have other stuff going on, but still. Or rehab, don't feel bad, dude. It must be Beta Box Deluxe. Stop. Just stop, man. I mean, he got 5 years in the pen for theft of 80,000. So, spare me all the, oh bro, he was probably a Beta Box Deluxe cop. Okay, he was beta boxing his pregnant white girlfriend waiting for him outside. You think he was beta boxing that prison guard as well? Come on, man. The cop has to stop somewhere. Guys, I was coping too. You are not alone. I was thinking, oh, it is not real. You know, it cannot be real. Low IQ man in the community fell for it. But when it hit the news, I couldn't cope anymore. When the evidence is right in front of you, you gotta accept the facts. And he has a white, pregnant girlfriend. Light skin black game is really underrated, man. At least in the UK. His face is a 4 at best. At best a 4. Oh, dude, rehab, he's a Tyrone. No, he's not. He's fucking not, dude. At least facially he's not. He doesn't have the face to be a Tyrone. I don't know, man. Maybe I have been underestimating the whole light skin mixed black game all this time. I don't know how tall he is, and I'm still trying to make it make sense in my head. I am still trying to, you know, shoehorn it into the BP to feel less butthurt that he has been able to pull that off in the pen while I am rotting here with all my so-called freedom. But in reality, he is more free than me in that cell than I am here. That is the truth of the matter, man. That is the brutal reality of life. He has more value than me, despite everything I have done in my life, my entire life. I have been a hardworking, law-abiding citizen. But for what? You know what I'm saying?
And I've hurt myself.
I have never been to the prison. And I am actually scared of going to the prison, guys. Like, there is no way I would make it in the pen. No way. I can't live like that, man. In some hellhole, no internet, no way to properly stimulate your brain. And don't say, oh yeah, you can read books in prison. That is not the same. I don't know how people can get used to living in this cell. Living like this. Imagine you get a 10-year sentence in this cell, in these conditions, where there is another no-hoper sleeping in the same cell with you, in that same rat hole. Dude, I couldn't last 1 week. Not 1 week. Not to mention, I am not cut for living with other prisoners. Imagine you are locked up in that tiny little cell and you already have a cellmate. A 10-15 square meter cell. The toilet is next to the bunk beds. There is only a small curtain separating the beds and the loo. Your cellmate basically has to take a shit right next to you sleeping, you know? I'm actually scared of having to live like this. I ain't about that life, man. But hey, what do you know, man? He was able to bang a woman like that in those conditions. Somehow. Some way. I don't even know what a prison guard looking like her was doing there. I always imagine prison guards to be like 40-year-old dudes who look like 55, 60, you know. Gray hair, beer belly, fucked up skin due to years of alcohol abuse. Kinda like guys who look like they just wanna get off work and go home and get wasted. People who followed that routine for 20 plus years. You can already picture their lives in your head. I don't know about you guys, but when I picture a prison guard in my head, it is always a guy who got into a shitty marriage when he was younger, before all this clown show, before all this online dating stuff. Some boomer, right? Then he got divorced, lost his stuff in the divorce court. He doesn't even talk to his daughter, lives in a small apartment he can barely afford. Just wants off this right deep down, you know. He's just waiting for it all to end. The prison guard job just pays him enough to drink his suffering away at the end of the day, every day, when he gets off work. My point is, you don't imagine this for a prison guard. Why would she even work as a prison guard to begin with? I mean, you'll have to deal with sub-5, mostly ethnic men. I mean, 99% of prisoners are sub-5 no-hopers. By the way, guys, make no mistake, I didn't make this video in a dark triad cop supporting manner. I don't believe in Hybristophilia and stuff, that dark triad cop. Oh, dude, you just gotta be a criminal, narcissistic and psychopath. Oh, women like dangerous men. It is in their DNA. It signals them that those men are better protectors and have no respect for authority. It turns women on. Dude, trust and believe, this is like 1 in a million case. Prisons are filled with ugly dudes who rot and die there without getting any action. You go take a look at those criminals. Which ones are adored by girls and end up on their walls as posters? And which ones end up on the internet as a meme? That should tell you all you need to know. When you are ugly and low inhibition, everything you do will rub people the wrong way. When you are narcissistic, people will just justify their dislike of you, their already existing dislike of you. They will say, look man, you're a piece of shit. Let's be real here. You have always been a piece of shit. Don't blame your looks for it. I mean, are you surprised when you are a narcissistic, psychopathic piece of crap? Are you surprised that women don't like you? That is how people will justify their dislike of you when you are a sub-5 male. Guys, if you ever find yourself in situations where you feel like you are unwanted, where you're always the first one to get thrown under the bus, if you find yourself in situations where it feels like anything you do or say just annoys people, then you know what's up. You know that you are sub-5 in looks. People have been saying to me, oh dude, Rehab, your accent, it is your accent. Your accent is giving people the creeps. That is why women don't like you. I don't even talk in English in my day-to-day life. For the most part. I don't even live in an English-speaking country. But of course, when you are looking for an excuse to find a person creepy, find a guy creepy, you will come up with any reason. Like, the way I drink water will rub you the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for my accent, it would have been something else. Whether you are liked or not by people in real life comes down to your looks, man. Looks a lot more than people think. Then people just employ interjection. They just justify the whole process in their head subconsciously. When they have already made their minds when they saw you the first time. Like, the rest is just mind doing its own thing to justify any way possible. Anyway, and when you actually go become a piece of shit without having the credentials, without having the looks to back it up and halo it up, don't think it is gonna work out for you. It will not. The only thing you will succeed in doing is giving them what they have been looking for subconsciously. They had made their minds already that they are gonna dislike you. You just gave them what they have been looking for. An excuse. A channel to openly direct their dislike of you. Really feels like that, man. A lot of people are just looking for an excuse to hate on you. Oh, it is your accent, dude. Shut the fuck up, man. But guys, just wanted to vent about this a little bit this week. I will talk to you guys later. Don't be afraid in life.